I can be a Jedi. Ben, tell him I'm ready.
Ready, are you? What know you of ready?
The Empire Strikes Back is famous for two things. First, it is regarded as the best Star Wars movie in the franchise, and the second, and most importantly, one of the biggest plot twists in movie history that if you sit down a kid today and showed him the first movie and then this one without any prior knowledge, you could see them bursting into tears from the discovery. So, how good is the movie really? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe, like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back.
Watch it!
With the second part of the Star Wars saga, George Lucas vacated the role of the director and brought in Irvin Kershner and handed over the writing to Lee Brackett. But after her passing, he continued the writing himself and brought in Lawrence Kasdan to just complete the script. The movie starts off with your usual crawl, giving us the story while we were away. The story continues with the ice planet Hoth and Luke Skywalker doing a routine patrol and gets jumped by an animal, but manages to free himself after some Jedi guidance. He barely survives the harsh environment as Han Solo finds him and brings him back to base, only to begin the defense against the Imperial forces.
I've reached the main power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
The rebels, badly hurt, make their way out of Hoth, but our heroes part ways. Sulu, Chewie, and Leia want to reunite with the rebels, but Luke goes off to find an old Jedi master called Yoda to continue his trainings on the remote planet of Dagobah.
Jedi Master Yoda. You seek Yoda.
Meanwhile, Solo and Leia are being mercilessly pursued by a few Corellian ships and of course a few bounty hunters, and decide to seek aid at a long-lost friends of Han named Lando Calrissian.
I thought you knew this person.
Well, that was a long time ago. I'm sure he's forgotten about that.
Luke does manage to reach Yoda and continue his Jedi training so that someday he'll be able to face his ultimate nemesis, Darth Vader, and bring him and the Emperor down.
Do or do not. There is no try.
First of all, let me say that this film, out of the trilogy, is my least favorite to watch. Yes, let the hate flow through you in the comment section. I will admit though that out of the three, this one is the most well made. It has the most compelling story overall and the more lore intensive out of the entire saga. It took the world building that Star Wars did back in 1977 and completely expanded on it, added to it, and really defined what good versus evil in the world is, with a clear definition of light and dark sides of the Force.
Is the dark side stronger?
No. Quicker, busier, more seductive.
This film is where the most of the foundation for the galaxy far, far away comes from. But besides that, it is also the linchpin on which the entire Skywalker saga rests on. If it wasn't for the famous reveal at the end of the movie, we do not get any of the prequel movies. And that is a fact.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
In terms of the acting, Hamill, Ford, and Fisher bring their complete A-game, diving much deeper into their own character development. With Luke, it's his quest to learn to become a Jedi in order to help the rebellion. And it is his frustration about not being able to succeed in his training that ultimately gives him the lesson about taking the easy route and the lesson about the importance of quieting the mind and focusing.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
For Han and Leia, it is the love-hate relationship. It is between the stubborn princess who wants to do everything herself and the lovable rogue that learns to soften himself and trust his friends. Ultimately, their love story will be the thing that drives Luke to make a rash decision and to be the focal point to the start of the next movie, Return of the Jedi.
Aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
I'm nice, man.
No, you're not.
But apart from our trio, we get to learn a lot more about Darth Vader, where in the first film, we only really learned anything about his own character from the first scene in the conference room aboard the Death Star. In this movie, we can see his interactions with other Imperial forces, his devotion to the Emperor, and his own cunning while trying to capture Luke's friends.
You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegration.
My real explanation on why this is my least favorite of the trio is very simple. It all stems from my childhood. I did explain that I've seen all three movies on VHS, and to me as a kid, I loved the big battles rather than the whole character development things and the build-up that this movie has to provide. And yes, there is a battle at Hoth, and yes, the Millennium Falcon has a chase, and you can even throw in the training montage of Luke on Dagobah, but it is nothing like the adventure of the first film and the grandeur of the Endor battle and the subsequent Death Star battle. But I will distill it all to the ending. Yes, it is shocking, and yes, it is important for the entire saga. However, back in the day, I never felt like any movie should end on a sour note. Of course, now that I'm an adult, I've changed my entire outlook on the movies, and my tastes have also changed. But if you just ask me which one I would just randomly sit down and watch, and I will probably say that of the two sequels, I would probably watch Return of the Jedi. But these days, it's much more of a Sophie's choice for me.
Obi-Wan can no longer help him.
The Force is strong with him.
But despite my personal choice, this movie is a must-watch, preferably in its despecialized version, which reversed what George Lucas did to the trilogy back in 1997. Out of the three, this was the least altered version, so if you cannot get this special despecialized version, it's not a big problem. But I do urge you to seek it out.
Moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different.
No different. Only different in your mind.
I've mentioned the twist at the end, but I haven't said what it is because the more time passes and the more young people get into this franchise, I realize that a lot of people don't really know the twist at the end or what it actually is. And I wish I could go back to the time where only for a brief moment I could experience that for the very first time again. And I think most fans would do so as well. And this is exactly why I never suggest to anyone to start the franchise by watching episode 1, The Phantom Menace. You'll just deprive yourself in one of the best plot twists in film history as a conclusion for a fantastic film. I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.